Hello everyone and welcome to the promised video on the Detroit Motor City event and the Chicago Showdown, where I will give you all the things you need to know while participating in it and answering that burning question, is it worth it to pay for the final lock-in? My answer, not really, and you'll see later to why. For those unaware, yesterday launched the next two stops for the American Roadtrip, with the Showdown representing Chicago and a 5 lock-in event for Detroit, which will allow you to get your hands on my hands down favorite Camaro in the game, the Valkyria by the Ring brothers. In a Season Max video this season, I will go more in depth on the awesome details on this car and to why it won the Battle of the Builders at SEMA last year. But for today I will only keep it to the max tune of the car at the end of the video. To start, let's go for the Detroit Motor City event, and so far this has been one of my favorites event we've had, with the exception of one thing which in my eyes is a bit unfair concerning the crates, but later more on that. The event itself consists of 80 races, with a variety of regular 1v1s, relay races, sprint races and speed traps. There are 5 lock-ins which all can be filled in without having to actually buy cars for cash, and it can be completed entirely by free-to-play players without having to chip in extra money. The total rewards come down to 3 million cash, 430 gold coins, 1555 bronze keys, 130 silver and 16 gold keys, which is quite nice, 10 uncommon, 11 rare and 10 epic fusion parts spread over the various cars, 4 stage 6 parts, 1 random one, 2 for the 3rd lock-in and 1 for the 4th lock-in, 1000 green elite parts, 180 blue, 25 red and 6 yellow legendary elite parts, and of course the prize in the end being the Camaro Valkyria. For each car in each lock-in there are crates available, which can be bought with bronze keys with the exception of the last one, which will cost you actual cash no matter what you lock in. The event started yesterday, which means that if you open a crate every day strictly starting from yesterday already, you would be able to hit loyalty by the end of the event, giving you at least one stage 6 part for each car without having to buy additional crates. I will now go over each lock-in starting from a stage 5 perspective and talk about what the most challenging races were, and the most I had to use was 2 stage 6 part for a car. Again, I would like to thank Reddit user WKPQ for setting up this list, making recordings and this video a lot easier. The first lock-in is the one I think the least people will struggle with. Here you basically have to use any made in America elite custom cars, but only of the first 8, which means not including the Viper, the Cadillac, the Shelby Super Snake and the C8. And the second requirement, you cannot use the same car that you used in the Philly event weeks ago. So I suggest here to either go for the SRT Challenger, the Camaro SS, or like I chose the Rally Fighter, as these are currently also used in the Elite Showdown, which comes with extra crates. As for difficulty, if you choose this Rally Fighter, you will be able to complete the event without using any stage 6 parts. The hardest race came on race 55 and wasn't really a challenge, as on stage 5 you can get up to a 9.0. The actual biggest challenge came on a speed trap on race 76, but with the special tune you can also beat it. Tune and speed trap race. The second lock-in is more straightforward. Any car from the Pittsburgh 20 event is eligible for this slot. In case you don't have any of the cars, they are still on a 20x drop rate on the gold crates, which is quite convenient. Here just go for the car which you have the most parts for. I chose the Demon as it's the middle ground of the 3 cars. The speed trap race was beatable on stage 5 using a more top-end speed focused tune, but the hardest race however was on race number 71, which was a bit more challenging but easier compared to the Pittsburgh 20 event. So if you completed that one, this should definitely be easy. I installed nitros and intake, but I think either 1 or 2 should definitely be enough. Tune and hardest race. The third lock-in is my favorite, and here you have to pick between either the Ford Mustang Cobra Jet or any variant of the Copo Camaro. But the reason to why I like this slot so much is pretty simple, because both the Copo Camaro and the Cobra Jet are for sale for gold coins, with the Cobra Jet being a steal considering it's a top 5 car and the second fastest free to get one added. The Cobra Jet is a beast of a machine and well worth to spend bronze on. For this car there are 2 stage 6 spots up for grabs, the first one being easily obtained by running quicker than a 13.541, and the second one can also easily be obtained on stage 5 by beating an 11.0, which is also the hardest one-on-one race on race number 58. I also got a third stage 6 spot which I won on the relay race early on, which allegedly should reward a random stage 6 spot between any of the 3 first cars. So I was already quite well equipped heading towards the most challenging race, which was a speed trap on race number 72. But I managed to do it using only transmission, tune and speed trap. The fourth lock-in is where it might be a bit trickier. Here you don't really have any choice. The only possible car is the Ford Model A Twisted Mistress by Weaver Customs, a sick hot rod which can be won for free by reaching 1,200 trophies on the Chicago Showdown, which runs parallel with this event. For this Chicago Showdown you can use any of the cars from the previous lots to participate in it, but I highly suggest to either use the Copo Camaro or the Cobra Jet. Like I said yesterday, if you can't win it today, no stress behind it. Right now it might seem like a hard challenge, but by tomorrow or by Sunday it might be a lot easier already. In case you are impatient, you can also buy the car for cash or in a bundle with any other car you're missing. As for difficulty, I think if you have enough fusion parts to max it out on stage 5, you will get quite far in the event. A stage 6 spot can be won on race 47 by beating a time of an 11.841, but the hardest race and a speed trap came back to back and I could use the same tune for both. I had to install just one stage 6 spot to get past the hardest one-on-one race, and I even used the one with the least impact being the intake. So any stage 6 spot will be good with this car to complete the event, tune and the hardest one-on-one race. The final lock-in is most likely where the most might face a big wall. Here you either have the choice between a 50th anniversary Charger SRT Hellcat, which was winnable for free on the Philly event, or the Ring Brothers Javelin, which is a former Flash car and comes back as a paid car too. Sadly you can't use the regular Charger, which means that you might have to transfer your stage 6 spots, which I really did not expect to happen. And also the fact that the crates are paid rather than bronze keys for this car is a bit of a punch, because I would have understood it if it was for the Javelin, but not if you choose to lock in the Charger. I chose to go with the Charger as I tried to see this from a free-to-play player's perspective, and the lock-in came super late and it's only used for a couple of races, which means there is a steep difficulty curve without stage 6 spots up for grabs. The hardest solo race came on number 77, which was beatable on stage 5 luckily, but the hardest speed trap is the biggest pain point I've seen so far on various communities. I had to use 2 stage 6 spots being nitrous and body, so that means that 2 or 3 should be the minimum. Tune and run. With that all done, the last relay race is a bit of a challenge, but don't forget to retune your car to the quarter mile, which might make it a lot easier for you. Once you beat it, you do get rewarded a beautiful machine, the Chevrolet Camaro Valkyria by the Ring brothers, and this thing is mean. To avoid stretching the video too long, I'll just go straight to the max tune and my best run. If you want to know more about this, I really suggest you to subscribe and see the season max video, which will drop in the next couple of days. Now, is it worth it to buy the Javelin for the final lock-in to complete the event? To me, not really, because you will have to spend plenty of cash to get the super rare fusion parts, and you only get to use the car for 10 odd races, which isn't much considering there's an 80 total. But then you might miss out on the Valkyria, right? Well, there are mentions that down the line you will have to use this Camaro as a lock-in somewhere, so I believe at some point it will come for sale too. And the question then is, do you buy the Javelin now and you pay many crates to win the Valkyria, or maybe when the Valkyria comes for sale later down the line, you just buy it then and put parts on it. However, it could be that down the line, just like the Charger 50th Anniversary Edition, it will be a lock-in, but it doesn't come for sale and you will be forced to buying another car, which means that the Valkyria will never be purchasable. So it's a bit tricky. As we only have 6 days left for this event, you will have to spend plenty of cash on the crates to get the Javelin up to speed, which to me is not worth it. Hopefully then the Valkyria comes for sale down the line. However, that is fully speculative and there is no source to back that up, so take it with a grain of salt. So what is our next stop? Well, first up is the Indianapolis Hennessy Trinity Cup, which will be quite interesting to see as you will have to use some pretty fast cars. I'm talking about the Hennessy Venom GT, the Venom F5 Concept and the Exorcist. Followed up by the Flash Tulsa 300 event, which will also have the orange and the white SSC Tuatara coming for sale, followed by the Oklahoma 300 Showdown, which will be the fastest showdown we've ever had in the game. But more on those can be found on my update video, or in the upcoming videos when the events pop up on the map. And with that, I will close it off for today. Another long video and a fun event. Overall quite satisfied, with the exception of the final lock-in and its crate. If you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, my name is Miller, see you around, and keep racing.